Hey everybody, welcome, and thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach Brittle. I'm here with Laura Heck. We are here to tell you today about a very special announcement that we have. You have to endure, as always, a little bit of us catching up about what's going on in our life, but then we're really thrilled to bring to you a new piece of news about a book that's coming out, ours. It's called Reconnect, and we're looking forward to telling you all about it. We're going to drive you today to marriagetherapyradio.com. There's a lot going on over there. We have the book announcement. We have our Patreon page. There's some new information about the workshop that I'm going to be teaching in the fall, but there's a lot going on. We got a lot of cool updates coming down the pike. We are excited to roll out this book, which releases on September the 10th. Our back to school sort of behind the scenes Patreon efforts begin as soon as we hit September. So there's still time to do that. And there are a couple other opportunities for you as we kind of land the summer and lean into the fall. For now, I want to thank you again for listening to Marriage Therapy Radio. This is a very cool conversation. Stick around. What are you drinking?
I'm so glad you asked. Doesn't this look enticing?
No,
First of all, what is
sketchy?
So it's 8 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday. Thank you, by the way, for waking up. What time did you wake up? Was I accurate?
7:55.
Shut up.
No. Why would I wake up any earlier? It takes me 5 minutes to walk out of my
Because don't you feel like your brain needs like a solid hour to wake up?
No.
Don't you have to like put something in your body in order for your brain to work properly?
No. In fact, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going back to sleep after this. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that because I set my alarm and I was like, okay, I got to wake up at 6:30 if I want to be on point for this 8 a.m. podcast with Zach
that's so
Brittle.
Sweet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, gosh, lucky you for being just so on point 5 minutes out of rolling out of bed. That is just really
I might
fantastic.
have gotten up at like 7:53 or
because 2. Did you see my text where I said, hey, if you need an extra hour, that's fine.
I know. That's sweet.
And then I pulled myself together because I was like, I might need an extra 45 minutes for my brain to wake up. Hold on. You asked me what I was drinking.
Yeah. It looks like muddy water.
It does kind of look like muddy water. So I spent, this is going to be a little bit of a longer story. I spent the week. I spent the week with my best friend. And as I was just like, Tom, that's right. As I was like living life around him, he kind of looked at me and he was like, you complain a lot about your stomach. And I was like, wow, okay.
He could have just stopped at a lot and probably been just fine.
Thank you. All the men in my life, they love me and my special quirks. But it was an interesting thing in that my husband hears me complain a lot about either like my stomach or being tired, like, I'm just really like drained. Those are probably the primary complaints about like my existence, my body and how it's showing up in the world. And he just said, I think you are struggling because you have bad gut health. And I was like, thank you. He's an NP, by the way. So I take what he has to say about like the body pretty seriously.
What does NP stand for?
Nurse practitioner. He's a DNP, doctor of nurse practitioner. I don't know. He's very important in the hospital. That's all I know. So
I'd talk to the important person, please.
Yeah. I'm on operation duty. Operation duty is like, I'm going to clean up my gut health and I want to have like really healthy bowel movements. I know that I'm just going to talk about it because I think it needs to be talked about. So I made a juice last night. This is like all experimental. I'm removing inflammatory things one thing at a time. I'm sure I've said this on the podcast like 4 times in the last 7 years, but I'm doing it again. So the first thing to get removed is dairy, which is really great. I'm hoping that helps my gut health. I made a very healthy juice, which is celery and cucumber and lemon and ginger. And it looks funny because I added carrots in there just to stretch it out a little bit. So it's got a funny color to it. Yeah. And then last night, I did some fiber. So I took like a fiber supplement. I'm talking about Metamucil, like I'm 85 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I took magnesium. So if you're listening to this and you're like, Laura, you are on the right path, will you please just validate me? Because I woke up and I can tell you that my stomach did wonderful things this morning. I'm in a great mood.
That's
so
awesome.
Operation Duty went well and I'm going to keep on this path.
I love that for you.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah.
That was my story.
Because if you don't, you're going to like wither and die on the vine because you're 40 now.
Yes, I am 40. That's
You're
right. Like now that
you're
I'm
over the
40,
hill.
I take Metamucil in the powdered form.
Yeah.
I should add some prunes into my diet and really see how 40 treats me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned 40. That's true.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad turned 40. I was 8 or something. I don't remember, but he 10. But that
I was going to
the
say,
era.
you won't let that go. You will do the numbers in your head.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
But what I remember is that was the era when like you turned 40 and it was all the black balloons and you're over the hill and
totally.
Like he had a big old party and it was like decorated like a funeral kind of.
Yeah.
But I loved turning 40. It was like literally it was the day that my give a shit meter went down. I was like, whoa, I care about a lot fewer things than I cared about yesterday. It literally happened on that day. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It has started to happen for me in the last few years. The one that I really love is, and it didn't have to do with being older. It was being more secure in my marriage. I now have the confidence to walk up to the most stunning, beautiful man ever and say like, you are blowing my balls out of my head right now, meaning my eyeballs. Like you are so stunningly handsome. I would have just like shrank as a young woman, but now I have so much confidence to sexually harass men in public, which is like great. Only because I'm secure in my marriage. It's great.
Yeah, right on.
Do you want me to ask you about your swimming? Because you sent me a video, you guys. So I got this video. First of all, I knew that you were going to swim at some point because we are inching. You have 3 more days to reach. What is it that we're going for? A marathon of swimming?
My goal was to swim 26.2 miles in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go back? Do you know how many days you swam in order to achieve?
I swam 17 of the 27 of days that there have so far been in July. And one of those days I swam twice.
That's awesome.
So I swam 18 total swims.
That is amazing.
Today's the 28th. So I have a few more days. But yesterday, on the 27th of July, I finished my marathon. I swam my 26.2 mile in, and yes, we sent you a video.
I'm so impressed. But here's the thing that got sent to me was, I'm sure Rebecca was like not watching you the whole time, but the moment that she probably walked out to the pool deck and pulled out her phone and started filming you, you had your kickboard. And I was like, that is not swimming. That is like just
No, what happened was I got in the water at the top of the lap swim. We only have an hour, and I had to get it. I had to get 2,800 yards, and I knew it was going to take me about an hour. And so when she came to get me at about the end, and I was warming down, I said, "This is it." And I could swim in all of my sets, and I just had to kick to the wall, and because that was my cool down. And so I was cooling down, and I got to the wall, and she was like, "Woohoo!" And then everybody in the pool also knew that it was that's what was happening. So. It was a little party. We had a little party at the pool. It was pretty fun.
How did people around you know that? I don't talk to other swimmers unless I'm
it's our pool club.
It's
our community. It's like our people, right? And people are like, "Oh, you're swimming a lot." I go, "Yeah, I'm trying to get a marathon in July." So every once in a while, like people will be like, "How you doing? You win, da da da." And I was like, "Today's the day. I'm gonna get it today." And and the lifeguards are rooting me on, and because otherwise I was gonna do it today, but it wouldn't like been during my warm up, which is like lame. You don't want to finish your marathon during your warm up. That's stupid.
Yeah. You want to have to like work for the
stretch a little bit. So I had to bust my gut.
Bust your hump. Yeah.
Get my meters in.
Cool. I'm into that. I'm really impressed with you. I don't know what's going to happen. I had a great swim while Tom was in town. Why was Tom in town, you ask? Oh, thank you for asking.
I know why Tom was in town. It was the same reason I was not in town.
Because it was my birthday.
Tom got invited to celebrate your 40th birthday party.
Tom invited himself, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to come down next month.
Are you?
No.
The month after that.
Yes.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it on my hand right now. Make foot massage.
Yes, queen.
Yeah. Yes, queen.
I got a pedicure yesterday too. That was pretty fun.
Good for you. Make foot massage. So my 40th, I had a lot of people ask me like, what are we doing for your 40th? Especially a month leading in, right? Because I have gone through some really epic celebrations. I threw an epic party for my husband's 40th. And then I thought to myself, kind of like your give a fuck meter,
Let's give a shit meter.
Give a shit? Oh.
Yeah. The S word is not as bad as the F word.
That's right. We're going to lose all our sponsors. Oh, no. So I just decided, you know what I really want to do? What I really want to do is not hang out with other people on my birthday.
Okay.
I would really like to just have it be really low key. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Except for Tom weaseled his way into my birthday by texting me 3 days in advance and saying, oh, what are you doing for your birthday? Do you have any parties? Anything scheduled? Are you going out to eat? Just the two of you? Oh, it's amazing. I'm going to be so bored the next 6 days that I have off for work. I'm going to be really bummed out. Nobody to swim with. Nobody to work out with. He lives in Salt Lake. Fun fact. So this is the type of house guest that you want if you are an introvert and you don't want to hang out with people is the house guest that you want is 1, another introvert. And 2, we lived with Carl and Tom for 6 months while they were building their house. And so we get along really well. Like we're like roommates. We're ex-roommates. So they just come into town, they do their own thing. And then we meet up and we run, bike, swim. It was wonderful.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah. But that's not really why we're here to talk about ourselves. Do you remember the phrase parallel play? It's a developmental stage where small preschool-age children play next to each other, but they don't actually integrate their play with each other. My couples are stuck in parallel play. That is until I discovered Paired. Paired is an app for couples who want to strengthen their relationship. It's developed by leading experts and relationship therapists whose guiding principle is to make lasting love a daily practice. Listen, you're on your phone anyway, so you might as well build your relationship up by playing a game or initiating a meaningful conversation with your partner through Paired. So here's how Paired works. You and your partner both download the app on your phone. You allow it to guide you through daily exercises, conversations, even the hard ones, games, and quizzes to make connection with your partner more fun, meaningful, but most important, a daily priority. Whether you're just a few dates in or you've been together a long time, find the time to connect with your partner and nourish your relationship. With the Paired app, it's easy and fun, and it only takes 5 minutes a day. Head to paired.com/MTR to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off if you sign up for a subscription. Just head to paired, PAIRED.com/MTR to sign up today.
Hey gang, if you've been paying attention to the podcast lately, you know that I recently certified in relational life therapy. That's Terry Reel's model, and am now qualified to lead Terry's boot camp, which is a 2-day relationship workshop that I think is absolutely fantastic. Rebecca and I took it last summer. It really changed the way that we thought about our own relationship. Terry's model is fond of saying that other methodologies will teach you tools, and we work with the part of you that doesn't use tools. So if you're interested in the 2-day workshop, I'm teaching it 3 times in the fall. One is online, it's actually in October, and there's an early bird discount through the middle of August. The other one is in person in Minnesota, and the third one is in person in Philadelphia. If you're interested in taking the online one, or if you're interested in joining me in person in Minnesota or Philadelphia, you can go to marriagetherapyradio.com and check out the link for the boot camps. In the boot camps, you learn kind of all about how to work with the stuff that you bring to the table. So we all are located somewhere on what's called the relationship grid that helps us orient kind of where we are when it comes to our acting out behavior, and then where to go in order to achieve health. You learn about the 5 losing strategies. You learn about the 5 winning strategies. We do a lot of work just helping get kind of underneath the layers of what is in the way of you becoming the best version of yourself in your relationship. The workshop works for couples. It also works for individuals. And I'm really excited to be teaching it. Again, I'm doing it 3 times in the fall, 2 times in October. The first one is online. There's an early bird discount through the middle of August. When you register for that one, make sure that you note Marriage Therapy Radio as kind of how you heard about it, how you found out. The other 2 are in person. So if you're inclined to travel, or if you live near Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Philadelphia, I'd love to give you more information. Again, you can find that at marriagetherapyradio.com. Click on the bootcamp button, and all of the options will be available for you there. Looking forward to being with you. And now we're back to the show. I'm going to sing my song. Ready?
Sing it.
Announcements.
Whoa, that was a little extra spicy.
Do you have a story about announcements? Like, in your life, do you have a thing? Like, I don't know.
No.
Like, is it the school announcements? Like,
actually, I do. I do have an announcement story.
Dun, dun, dun. Pay attention, please. Thank you. like for like the morning announcements or something?
Not really. I mean, when you're like, do you have a story about announcements? We have, I'm not going to say her name. I'm just going to spell it out. Alexa. We have those throughout the house. And so we as a family will make these announcements, and they go and they get projected to all of the different A's in the house. And then we get into an announcement battle where we're like, Holden, you need to come downstairs and have breakfast. And he's like, I'm upstairs pooping. And then we're like, Holden, you need to blah, blah, blah. And he was like, Mom, you need to make me pancakes. And so that's our story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before our announcement though, I wanted to say one thing. We got a comment on Facebook that I want to address. And what was it? No, not Facebook. It was Instagram. It said,
was it bad?
No. Well, I don't think it's bad. It said, please don't turn your show into political rhetoric. And I was like, okay.
Was that like preventative? Like, hey,
no, I think I mentioned it a couple of times, but let me say this. I promise that I will not turn the show into political rhetoric. I absolutely promise. In fact, I'm so anti-rhetoric that the only message I have is please transcend the rhetoric. Please go beyond rhetoric and actually think about what it is that you're considering. And this is relevant because it's exactly what our announcement is. You want to say what the announcement is?
Mm-hmm. Okay. We wrote a book.
We wrote a book. And the book is designed almost single purposely to get you beyond the rhetoric, is to get you beyond the thing that you are doing and saying all the time right now without even thinking. So we'll tell you more about the book, but this is my promise to you that I will not just say boring, predictable, repeatable things. And instead, I'm going to invite you into something that is a lot more creative and a lot more generative, I think. So there you go. That's my response to you on the Facebook, on the Instagram, while we tell you about our new book, which is coming out on September the 10th, and we're really excited to tell you about it.
It's true. So the title is called Reconnect, a marriage counseling workbook, which is super fun because it is kind of the brainchild, the love child. If Zach and I were to intimately create a book child, this is the book child. It has a little bit of his brown eyes and a little bit of my blonde hair, and it came out lovely. So I don't think I can say blonde hair. Like if genetically my child would not have blonde hair.
Some of your hair is blonde right now.
Well, some of it is. Some of it is. That is correct information. I actually legit thought, anyway, I'm not going to get distracted.
Here's what you're trying to say is we were looking for a project and we found one, which gave us an opportunity to both lean into our gifts. I got to write about topics that I care about in poetic and literary ways. And you got to generate cool ideas and practical applications that really come right out of your wheelhouse. And it was really fun to collaborate. And this is been about a year. So
yeah. It is kind of funny because we both sort of have these memories of what it was like to write the book where, I think it sort of started out where Zach would start something and he would send me, a few paragraphs. And he's like, this is where I'm going. This is kind of the concept, the idea. Based off of this, I want for you to create some questions for couples to be able to like engage in deep conversation, be curious with one another, and then 2, be able to actually create an exercise for couples. So I love it. Number 1, I mean, you pick up a book and a lot of times you're just sort of reading it, but then you're not actually applying it. And I am all about application. And I think like Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, like your idea is how can we think about this differently? Like how can you maybe shift your mindset a little bit? How can you add more language, more words to how you're describing something? And then my whole part is how do you take a very solo experience of reading a book and now apply it and make it an experience that you're having with your partner?
A relationship experience, a community experience,
a community experience, right? So like have it be more experiential. So that's what we did. We took our 2 gifts and we applied it, and now we have our book baby, and I'm very proud of it.
I always tell people, when people ask me about the podcast, I always say that our goal is every single week is to do 2 things. Number 1 is to have people go, I never thought about it like that before.
Yeah.
Whether that's swimming or, birthdays or cooking or marriage. Like I want people to go, that's interesting. And then the second one is we want people to have a practical way to apply a tip or a trick or a tactic in their day-to-day life. And that is exactly what this book is. And I'll talk about the first part if you don't mind. Like,
please.
We have honed in on what I believe is our core value for couples, and it's curiosity. It's staying open to both the possibility that there are things that you can still learn about your partner, particularly at the detail level. Like what is it what's waking you up today, or what is it that you're excited about, or where do you want to retire, or what is your favorite song, or what musical are you listening? At the other level is the possibility that your partner can still surprise you, that there are things about their character, their core value set, their hardwiring that you can still discover, because it's the sin of certainty. It's the locking into rhetoric, frankly, or the locking into old school ideas that keeps couples bound up. And so this book is designed to get you thinking outside of those boxes, really to revisit one another in ways that make you go, huh, I never thought about it that way before. And then that give you really practical ideas. So there's a whole section about the value of curiosity and how to lean into and expose and exploit curiosity. And then we actually teach you how to have productive conversations, literally how to do it. And that's fun. I think couples, sometimes these skills atrophy because we get lazy and we get, we just get caught up in the day-to-day grind. This is where we start to hear things like, we feel like roommates, or we feel like ships in the night. This book is for you, because we really wanted to help you bust out of some of those patterns.
Yeah. It was funny because I was telling Zach, I said, and this is a little bit broader of an idea, is that I have never wanted to be a generalist when it comes to being a therapist. I've always wanted to be a specialist. I've always wanted to be incredibly specific, that when I meet someone and they say, what do you do for a living? And then I tell them, they go, oh my gosh, I've got just the person for you. Like that exactly matches the description of this person. Yeah. And that's what I want to be, is I want to be really clear that we did not write this book to meet everyone's needs. Like, I don't see this necessarily as being a book that is like preventative. I don't see it as being like a premarital gift that you're going to give to your couples. Although, it would be kind of neat to buy this and say, on your 10th wedding anniversary, I want for you to pull this out and start going through it. That's more of what I'm envisioning, is I'm imagining couples kind of like what you said, like, oh, we feel like roommates. Because it's really intended to bring couples back together and reconnect them in a really meaningful way. And so I think of it as being like, you have already lived a bit of a journey together with one another. And maybe you've drifted apart because your lives got busy, because you were raising children and you were focused on the kids, and you I would say intentionally put your marriage on the back burner. Maybe the two of you have grown as individuals, but you haven't grown in your relationship together. Like, you've kind of just sort of like continued to grow and change, but you didn't check in with each other and say like, hey, I just wanted you to know I'm really into triathlons now. And they're like, well, that's great. We're not going to do triathlons together, but I can support you. So I see this as a book for couples who have had a journey together. Maybe they're on the other side of raising kids, but it's really a way for you to come back together and start plotting a future with one another in a really intentional way.
I mean, it is called Reconnect. It's not called
Connect. Yes, it's not. Yes.
I will say this, though. There's that quirky little statistic that the Gottman Institute often puts out there, which is that couples generally wait 6 years after trouble has emerged before they seek therapy. And I think in general, you ought to be proactive. This book will not keep you from being proactive. But yeah, I definitely wrote it for the folks who maybe were into just old school, tired, predictable language about their relationship. But if you want to get a head start, go for it. It won't hurt you.
Well, this reminds me of like infomercials. Like, are you tired? Are you bored in your relationship?
Yeah.
Boy, have I got the book for you. It's called Reconnect.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of onboarding, couple chapters. The other thing I love about this book is you pick it up and you literally could just like flip through it and
totally
just, like,
anywhere.
Put your finger on a page and go, let's do this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you get past kind of the intro pieces of it, the first maybe couple chapters, it's, what is it, 46?
Dude, so
Total.
many sections, so many. I was just thinking about that. Like, yes, if you had 46 separate dates in a year where you just said, we're going to sit down with each other, a nice cup of chai, which I'm going to circle back to. I'm going to tell you how to make masala chai because I made it last night. We're going to sit down for a nice cup of chai and we're going to just like flip and go to that section. You can do that 47 times.
I know. I think our goal was 50, but we were like,
tired. I don't know if we
we're
have
repeating
anything
ourselves
left.
a lot here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. We do have, so in our work with each other, one of the things that we have our couples do is ask open-ended questions to one another as a way of guiding their openness, their curiosity, the sort of countering that sin of certainty that I know who you are and I know what you think and I know how you feel. And just opening up these conversation starters in very specific topics. Like we have conversation starters related to like aging. We have them related to finances. We have them related to like your future self. We have them related to your past. Like what was it like growing up and being, you know, a child to your parents and in that relationship dynamic? So many questions, but they're all kind of broken up into specific topics. So we guide you through these open-ended questions to create greater understanding and empathy, but then we also lead you into exercises for you to just kind of delve into, actually put into practice some of these things that you're talking about, which is it's pretty special, I have to say. Like it's a big undertaking if you are going to go through the entire workbook, just have to say.
I don't know if you were teeing this up in this way, but the chai tea thing, but like you are baller when it comes to like creating ways for couples to engage through like activity and energy. Are there like one or two that you are like especially excited about? Does one of them have to do with chai tea, or is it like, what's an example for that we're talking about in terms of
like a specific work?
I knew a couple once that their thing was like, while you're thinking, their thing was, we're going to find the best chai tea. I don't think you're supposed to say chai tea. We're gonna find the best chai in Seattle.
You're not, because it's
chai is tea.
Yeah.
We're gonna find the best chai in Seattle. So every Saturday morning they got up and they went to a new place to find, and they like had a little rating. That was kind of their thing.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be specifically something that I think we would have put in, but like, what are a couple things that, or one or two that you are especially like, I don't know,
pumped on?
You have a chip on your shoulder about?
You know, that's a good question. I'm kind of like, I'm doing a little bit of like recon here, going through the workbook and just like scanning to see what are some that are really neat.
It's a good looking book too. Like it's like,
it looks really nice.
You're going to want to like write in it and circle things and cross things out. Like that's going to be fun.
Yeah. So it's funny because there is one in particular that I'm kind of interested in, and it's taking a look at these almost like these covert rules that we have written within the context of the relationship, like these roles and identities that we fit into. And so like I'm all about, if you're going to grow in the relationship and you're going to grow in the next 15, 20 years, I'm really interested in taking a look at these roles that you have fit into and how they no longer serve you in your relationship, and what do you need moving forward in the next 15, 20 years in order for this marriage to grow with you and to be something that feels really comfortable. You remember those jammies that you used to wear when you were a kid, where it was like the little footy pajamas, and then you zipped them up all the way from like one leg all the way up to the middle?
Right on.
And then eventually what happened was you grew out of the jammies, but you loved them.
They still make those for grown-ups, right?
Probably. Yeah. I think they probably got really popular in COVID when people didn't have to go anywhere, and they're like, you know what I would love? A pair of footy pajamas. But when you were a kid, when I was a kid, I still loved my footy pajamas, but I would grow out of them. And so I'd have to cut the feet off of them. Did you ever do that, or the toes?
I think I was probably too broke to have footy pajamas, but I don't remember this story. I was
just going to say, I feel like most people just buy a new pair of footy pajamas, but we were so broke that we just cut the toes out.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
But I think about that in the sense of like, that's how we are as individuals, is like we continue to grow as individuals, but we're locked into the same roles, the same patterns, the same rules that we've established in the relationship. Mm-hmm. And I get excited by the idea of being like, we are going to completely reinvent the wheel when it comes to the next 15 years. And that's an exercise that I'm really pumped on, is having couples be able to actually draft rules within the household of what's going to serve them and identify like, what are the roles that you want to have, that you want to carry? Maybe you've been responsible for carrying the financial burden the entire time that you've been married, and now that's not even a thing. Like maybe you're retired, both of you are retired. So now what is the role? I'm kind of saying two words, role and rule. What is the role that you want to fill? And what are some of these unspoken covert rules that you want to make explicit between the two of you? And I get really pumped on that exercise in particular.
Well, and you're like, get a cup of coffee, find your notebook, sit down on a,
totally.
And there's like, it's literally like, we don't know how to do that. Laura is very good at telling you exactly how to do it. It's really pretty fun.
It's true. I mean, it walks you through how to begin to think about that in a way that's like not very overwhelming, I would say. Like it's just sort of like spoon feeding you step by step how to move through these harder conversations, how to dream. Boy, is that hard to do for some people, is to dream.
I like that you have a bunch of them too that are actually pretty tactile. Like whether it's, touch each other or make eye contact with each other. There's kind of these really tactile ones that help you kind of embody the thing that you're about to do.
Yeah.
And that is not a strength of mine. So I remember reading through them and being like, oh yeah, that would be a stretch.
Eye
that would be a
gazing.
stretch for
Yeah.
But just to set up some of these, like particularly some of these more challenging kinds of conversations. The other thing is we were really intentional about making sure none of these were painful. I think that was one thing we kept, every time we were like, ooh, this seems like it would be hard, or this seems like it would introduce or wake up something maybe bigger than they could handle, we would dial it back a little bit. So that's the other thing I would say is, while it isn't preventative, it's also not like
hard
intervention or like highly corrective. It's definitely like a gentle way to be coming back into each other's attention span and kind of waking that up. So I think again, you can I want to say this to my man out there, men, I want to tell you something. The thing I hear most, when I hear this the most about people wanting to do homework or wanting, the thing that comes up a lot is, well, I wanted to, but he wouldn't do it. It's usually his fault. He's the one who doesn't show up. And I'm saying, this is an easy way for you to show up. And if you want to get ahead of the curve in your relationship, go ahead and just go first in this situation. Be the one who says, hey, I heard about this book and I think we ought to do it. And even once it's on your shelf,
my gosh,
be the guy who says, hey, let's flip through some of this on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon when you got not too much else going on.
Yeah. That would be
That's
such
my
a
little
game
pep talk
changer.
for boys. Yeah.
I could not agree with you more though, Zach, that I also hear the same thing. And this really is like, not only do you go get a pre-sale, the book's going to arrive. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's here. It's here.
This is the part where we're going to like sell it to you now. We're switching gears just a little bit because we do need you to be a part of our book launch. Again, it's coming out on September the 10th. So now is the time to act, but go for it.
Buy it on pre-sale. I just think, how awesome would that be if my partner just randomly showed up with something that was focused and related to the relationship? Like,
sure.
It's one thing to schedule a date night and to actually make a dinner reservation and like maybe even line up a babysitter. It's another thing to go through the process of buying this book and then showing up at date night with this book and being like, I want to be closer to you. I want to feel more close and connected to you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a panty dropper. That's what that is.
And I think, again, think about ways that you can have your partner go, I did not see that coming. That this is pretty interesting. Yeah. A couple things. Yes, please pre-order the book. Pre-orders are a very important part of book sales for anyone who is trying to publish a book. We have a link on marriagetherapyradio.com. It's actually our affiliate link.
The show notes. And in the show notes.
And in the show notes. It's actually our affiliate link, which means when you buy it there, we get a kickback, which is helpful for us. We will be able to use that to help stay on the air. As you know, we are continuing to try and figure out how to do that through Patreon and through ad sales. But this book purchase at our link on marriagetherapyradio.com is the best way to do that. If you send us your receipt, you can send it to us via email. You can send it to us by
taking
DM
a picture
and Instagram.
through,
we, our publisher is putting together some like gift packets. They're putting some like fancy town, like this is the real deal. So we can enter you into that and make sure that you get some extra goodies from the publisher. I don't know how we have a drawing or something, and maybe we'll do that on We'll do that on Instagram Live.
Oh, like
here comes the drawing. Why not? We could
Why not?
prove that it's on the up and up. But yeah, now is the time to go to marriagetherapyradio.com, purchase the book using that link, send us your receipt. We'll be glad to put you into a drawing where you can
how much is
get
the
some
book,
extra
Zach?
goodies. What's that?
How much is the book?
I think it's $19.99.
Yeah. It's under $20.
It's under $20. Yeah. And there was one other thing I was going to tell you though. Oh.
Reviews.
Also, once you get the book, providing a review at Amazon is also a big deal. That will help us, get, what is it called? Social proof that the book is valuable. And we are going to start with you guys, Marriage Therapy Radio listeners. We actually have Marriage Therapy Radio on the cover.
Yeah. Oh, we do.
Yeah.
That's right. Podcast hosts of Marriage Therapy Radio.
By and for the Marriage Therapy Radio community. And
that's so cool.
I know. I'm pretty
It has
excited
been really interesting kind of being on the inside. So Zach has published, he has self-published 2 books. They're phenomenal. When you're on Amazon, it will also show you like books also by this author. So you'll see some of the other books. And you're also doing a book club coming up this fall, FYI. Related to a book that he wrote previously on his own. So that's going to be something he's going to talk more about in a little bit. But for now, I think the interesting part of working with a publisher is just how much you kind of have to play the game. Like, okay, so first it goes on to Amazon and it does really well only if you have amazing pre-sales. So the pre-sales really are important. I think at least 2 people in my life, Carl and Tom,
Yeah, I have at least 2 people who have already bought it. We were actually not allowed to talk about it until it went. That was weird too. We weren't supposed to talk about the book.
Yeah.
But now that it's up, we're like, talk about it. They're like, talk about it all the time. Because I guess they only want you to sell it in a certain window. But so now we're talking about it all the time. And I sent it out to some people. The other thing that's been fun is we sent it out to a bunch of people that we love and trust and asked them just to read it and give us some feedback. And it's all been overwhelmingly positive. I know that people you love and trust are supposed to like your stuff, but the way that they have complimented it specifically has made me feel a lot better about, you put your thing out there, you sort of put yourself out there for the world to see, and you don't know if it's going to stick to people or not. So it's been nice to have people say, yeah, this is actually really, really great. So,
yeah. All right. Is that all? Like we've told people announcement. Zach,
that's our big announcement.
Hit his marathon goal in the pool. That's awesome. I am 40 years old in 3 days. That's awesome. 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will make one more plug again. As you know, we have kind of an allergy to selling things, but we really do need you to continue to play a part with us. So this pre-sale situation is amazing. Also, don't forget about Patreon. If you're a member there already, thank you so much. If you're not a member there already, please do go ahead and check that out. That's also at marriagetherapyradio.com. We have a couple of tiers, including a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, and then a book club that I'm going to do with the Marriage Therapy Journal. If that goes well, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do another book club with Reconnect.
I know. That makes a lot of sense, huh? That would be super cool.
So those of you who want to get on board early, please do that. There are a few tiers at Patreon for us. That'll help us stay on the air for you. And then ideally we make it through the end of the year so we can start another book club with Reconnect, which is coming out on September 10th. So thank you so much for...
Do you have a dog in...
There's a dog in the backyard.
Is that on your end?
That's in the backyard.
Welcome. Yeah. We have a guest today. It's a dog.
So again, if you can purchase the book, fantastic. Thank you so much. If you can join us on Patreon, that's amazing. As always, support our sponsors. We are looking for ways to continue to serve you. And there's a dog. There's a dog outside
it's our guest
window. So,
all right. Well, let's land this plane, and we can go on with our Sundays. Happy Sunday.
And I can go back to bed.
Yes, you can. All right. Adios.
Okay.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. You'll find in the show notes a link to check out our pre-sales of Reconnect, a marriage counseling workbook. It actually officially starts shipping and going on sale September 10th, but now is the time, since you're thinking about it, to surprise your partner with this workbook. So do that. Once you do that, getting the reviews on Amazon is something that just is really incredible for the sale of the book, and a huge warm hug for Zach and myself. Thanks for all of your time and attention, making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.